On January 22, 2020, less than a month after New Year's Day, I delivered my last speech of that year. I would have never guessed that it would be my last, but that's often how lasts work. They come without warning. Today you can remember the last day that you hopped on a subway without wearing a mask, the last time that you watched a movie in the theater with your sweetheart, or the day when you were excitedly pondering where to go for your summer getaway. But while it was happening, you didn't know that it was going to be the last time for a long time. I've been a motivational speaker for most of my adult life, but coronavirus rocked that life to its very foundation. In all that time, I have never taken a break for more than a week. Even in the midst of natural disaster, I still gave speeches. But in 2020, for the first time, the professional speaking industry came to a halt of completely that there was no restart in sight. Since then, I have felt helplessly stranded in the unknown. In the beginning, I thought it was a simple virus that would soon pass. Then at beginning of February, I thought, oh wow, this is serious. It seemed to be lasting longer than expected. I felt butterflies in my stomach. The morning routine used to begin with checking the day's speaking schedule, but my schedule, my car, and even I all came to a screeching halt. Boss, I'm afraid that we're going to be in serious trouble if that continues, said Director Choi toward the end of February. She was in charge of accounting at my company. She said, with the money reserved in our account, we might be able to hold out for a couple of months, but that's it. My content provider company was employing about 20 people. I also run a YouTube channel MKTV and an online college MKNU University. But the profits generated from this operation don't cover all of expenses. The most established and reliable source of profit has always been my speeches. The pause in my speaking meant that the company was in jeopardy. I was full of anxiety as the days since my last speech stacked up. Then one morning I blurted out, please help me this one time to retain them all. Please grant my wish just once so that I don't have to let any of my employees go. I have to do anything to find a way out of this crisis and keep all my employees. Something had to change, so from that day on, I have had a new morning routine. I focused my nervous energy on problem solving. I began to fully prepare myself to find the answer to a question that I had never had to ask myself in my 57 years of life. What do you do when faced with a highly contagious virus? First, subscribe to the print copies of 2 newspapers. I come through every article looking for answers in a world that was changing on a daily basis. I also subscribe to 2 weekly magazines. I read in-depth articles in order to get a firm grip on the issue. I requested regular mail subscriptions from domestic and foreign business consulting firms to receive their reports. I also reached out to my younger brother, who is college professor in the United States, and asked him for update reference from America. Determined not to miss even the smallest clue, I read through books on economics, business management, trends, technology, humanities, history, and pandemics. The more information and knowledge that I accumulate, the more human clues stood out. My brain and body became busier than ever. I spent all my time trying to find clues, stopping only briefly when I had to sleep. My entire day was devoted to writing down ideas and thinking about solutions. If I had 4 clones of myself, it would still not have been enough. It was my desperate struggle to find ways to survive in the post-coronavirus world. About a month passed and I started sensing that my search was going somewhere. My coronavirus solution notebook was more than half filled. I found new clues each day, combined them with the ones I had found the previous day, disassembling and resembling ideas with each piece of new information. Another month passed and I started to see a glimmer of hope. I became convinced that the virus was not just a crisis but the door to another world. And it all crystallized into this one mantra that kept reverberating in my mind, order out of chaos. That was the answer. The more I learned, the truer become. Despite closed businesses and deserted streets, life was beginning again. The entire world was teeming with newly emerging signs and phenomena. Once I had sorted about all the small yet clear signals, an order emerged everywhere I looked. I had to tell my employees.